without works is dead. I don't wanna die so soon. I got moves to make instead. I ain't scared, I'm prepared. Big ideas inside my head. I'm gonna make them manifest. And I'm dressed for success. I left, right, order my steps. Network, I ain't gotta do it by myself. Who you know, show me who you know. Better let them know we bout to blow. It's time to go, go, go. I'm attracting, no accidents, that's fate. Just go in and have a little faith. Faith without works is dead. I don't wanna die so soon. I got moves to make instead. I ain't scared, I'm prepared. Big ideas inside my head. I'm gonna make them manifest. And I'm dressed for success. I left, right, order my steps. Network, I ain't gotta do it by myself. Who you know, show me who you know. Let them know we about to blow. It's time to go, go, go. Go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah. Go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah. I ain't trying to trade my time, yeah. Simply wanna show you what I'm worth, yeah. Daily I'ma stay on my grind, yeah. Have a little faith and go to work. Go to work. Yeah. Go to work. Go to work. Okay. Now go nuts.
Hey there, I'm Trevor Houston, the creator of the Who You Know Summit, and I'd like to welcome you to the Who You Know Job Networking Show.
On our program, we'd like to show you the job search like you've never seen.
Everything from getting noticed by employers, how to properly format your resume, and how to network effectively using LinkedIn to drive recruiters to your profile.
We even take suggestions from our amazing community.
So if you want to learn all things job search, go ahead and subscribe now.
Focus. It's all about the job search. So if you want to learn how to land that next success, you heard them. All you got to do is subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss out on a thing. Welcome to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important, but who you know? Who you know can make all the difference in your job search. Guys, I'm super excited because we have a special episode for you today called #Who You Know Presents Backstage Pass. So I want to give a special warm welcome to our live studio audience.
Hey!
Yes. This is our first time doing this, guys, so I'm super pumped and excited. We'll be doing it more as we go through, just bringing more elements to the community. But Mark Foster, who do we got with us today?
Hey, we got some job seekers with us, right? Hey, if you are a job seeker, let me hear you say it again. Who you know? Who you know? All right.
Yeah.
Do we have any alumni with us? You sure do, Foster.
Well, sitting right in front of me. Who you know alumni? Mike Mediterranean. No, Mike Materian, but we say.
That's Mike Mediterranean.
Mike Mediterranean.
You
Yep.
know it
Great
is.
to be here.
It's good to see you, bro.
We got some coaches, we got some hiring managers, some resources to the network here. If you are a resource, raise your hand. We want to recognize you guys. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go. Let's go.
Awesome, amazing, guys. Thank you so much for being here today. And I also want to welcome, can't forget, our audience online. So we got Philip Austin, Jason Hopper. Jason Hopper, we were just talking about you here today. We were like, listen, you're the one to beat in the comments. Jason Hopper, Lane Peeler, Eric Krishner, Meg Rose, the hype lady.
Hey.
What's good? Hey, guys, for the next time we do this, you need to make sure you're here. Ain't that right?
Yeah.
Make sure you're here in person. We'll do this more often, but we're excited that you're with us online, so we appreciate you. Now I want to welcome our all-star panel with us today. So joining us again, we've got Marcus Black. And let me just kind of formally introduce him. So Marcus is a former pastor turned urban missionary, providing leadership and mentoring programs to several inner city schools. Recently named one of LA Weekly's top 10 keynote speakers to watch in 2021.
Woo! Marcus Black.
Woo! Okay, so again in the audience, how many of you watched his show last week? Yes.
Good one.
Speaking Life, right? It was so good. So appreciate you being here. We also have Ashlee Fay.
Hey, Ashlee Fay.
And Ashlee is a motivational speaker and CEO of Ashlee Fay Design Shopping Network and the Ashlee Fay app and the Embrace Your Ambition movement, who is passionate about helping others, realize their passion. So again, warm welcome for Ashlee.
Right, Ashlee.
And last but definitely not least, we get to hang out in Clubhouse all the time.
Yes, we do.
It's a lot of fun. We got Tamra Andress. And Tamra, she's the founder of the Core Creatives Faith-Filled Business Membership, the Joyful Entrepreneur Coaching Program, and host of the Fit in Faith podcast. Everybody welcome Tamra.
Yay, Tamra.
So we love it, guys. We're super excited that you're here, and something that we always like to do is bless the audience and everybody that's watching us online and everybody here with a prayer, because this is a faith-based show. I love that your conference and everything that you do is faith-based. It's one of the reasons why you're here. And so Marcus, you are a former pastor, right?
Yes, that is correct.
So I figured you could kick us off with a prayer. What do you think?
Absolutely, let's do it. So if you guys will bow with me, those of you online. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this day. Thank you for being a God who sees, who hears, and who knows. Even in this very moment, we're all in different places, but you know where we are. And there are many who are looking, who are searching. And we just thank you for the doors that you're going to open. We thank you for the strength that you're going to give them to persevere. We thank you for the encouragement that you're filling their hearts with in this very moment. And I pray that we all leave this show this day better than we came, uplifted, encouraged by your spirit. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Woo! Woo! Amen.
Woo.
Can we mic drop right there? That was just like mic drop. Prayer.
Mic drop.
We got the gong back.
Well, you know what that means when we do the mic drops, right? All right, when we do the mic drops, we like to give stuff away. So that was a mic prayer, mic drop prayer. We like to give stuff away. So a few of you watched the show with Marcus on, last week. What's the name of Marcus's book?
Asleep at the wheel.
Woo! There we go.
So quick. Wow. What do we get? What do we get here? We got you already got a whiteboard?
I do not.
All right.
That was cool.
There you go. Whiteboard.
There we go. Nice. All right, that's what we're going to be doing throughout the show and this episode. We're going to be giving stuff away like Oprah. Hey, that's what we do around here. So, job seeker. Oh, no. Let's not go to the tip of the week yet. We got to celebrate landings. We've got a lot to be grateful for, a lot to be thankful for, and we've got a lot of landings. So, Foster, you want to do us the honors?
Yeah.
Who do we got?
I've got a few. So we're going to start with Laura.
Get your money guns ready.
My money gun.
Who do we got?
Laura Piper.
Laura Piper.
And then we got Jimenez Goel,
Jimenez, all right.
Martin McCoy Jr.
All right, Martin.
Let's go.
I need one of these.
Congratulations, Chris. I knew you.
All right,
Yes,
Carissa.
congrats.
Yes.
Stephen Jackley. Remember Stephen Jackley?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Steve Jackley. All right.
Jason Pauletto way out there in Arizona.
Jason. All
Yeah,
right, congratulations.
congratulations.
Juan Camilo.
Wow.
Juan. All right, Juan.
Hate that
We'll see if I can get this one right. Rodriguez Echeverria.
Oh, Rodriguez. All right.
That's Rodriguez Echeverria. Exactly. Valerie Haynes.
Congrats, Valerie. All right, Valerie.
Yeah, our newest project manager. Caleb Brooks.
Caleb Brooks.
Yes.
Congrats, Caleb.
You guys remember Courtney Maldonado?
Oh, yeah.
Months ago?
Yep.
Yeah.
Congrats, Courtney.
And
Awesome.
Ann Stormer McCook, my old.
And McCook.
Well, yeah, she was a recruiter with me, bro.
Love
All right,
it.
well,
Is that it? What we got?
congratulations.
All right, another round of applause.
And guys, just as a reminder, all of those people that landed, they are at companies and looking to pay it forward. So if you are searching, connect with them or ask if that company's still hiring. They might still be looking for people.
Yeah, 100%.
That's
Make
the way
sure
the network works, yeah.
you have to pay it forward. Each one of you job seekers that are here today, think about this. When you land, go make a relationship with the decision makers at that new company. Okay? We're going to lean on you because in the future, a year from now, you're going to get me knocking on your door on LinkedIn saying, hey, I need you to introduce Tamra to this company because you're working there. I need you. I need you inside that company. And I need you to build the relationships with the decision makers. So don't forget that. It's not hard. All you got to do is reach out. I mean, heck, they're hiring you through that process. You know who they are, right? So continue the relationship, and that way we can pay it forward for the future classes, right? All right, so Mark, we got job seeker tip of the week. What do you got?
Yeah, I got the tip of the week. Guys, so many people that we run into in the Career Search Network are searching, and they're searching blind. They're going through the process. They don't even have a process. Let's just put it that way. And so they're just firing things out and just throwing spaghetti on the wall, seeing what sticks, and they don't really have a project, right? So Valerie Haynes, congratulations, our newest project manager, right? So for you who are still seeking, you have to treat your search like a project, right? So what I mean by that, you have to prioritize the activities that you're doing, right? You have to grade them and give them a priority so you're staying on track. You have to have goals. You have to have monthly and weekly goals that you're driving to. And how do you drive to those goals? You have to schedule tasks. So scheduling your tasks and activities that you need to do. Maybe that's a follow-up or a follow-up call, an email that you have to send, a resume that you have to submit to a company. You have to track it. So Trello, right? There's the Trello boards. You can use that. There's other CRMs that you can use, even Outlook, right, to schedule up your follow-up calls. But you have to track your referrals as well. And that's one big thing that we talk about, which is the who you know. And if you are getting introduced to somebody, you need to track that as well. Track your conversations, the conversations that you've had, so you can refer back to those and show them that you're actively listening. Impress them, right? So treat your search like a project. Don't just go about doing it blind, applying and then not following up, or missing out on calls or deadlines for that interview. Just make sure that you're on task.
100%. And I will add to that, and what I'll say is that one of the things I learned early on when I started serving the job seeker community was that what you're going through is sales and marketing, okay? You are creating, it's like you're selling yourself. You have to sell yourself. You have to bring yourself to market. You've got to get a company to buy you, to purchase your skills, right? And so when you're doing that, you have to look at it from a sales and marketing lens, okay? And what he's talking about, the whole project management side of it, that is totally sales and marketing. And when you're a business owner, you guys do that, right?
All the time.
All the time, right? You got to track your follow-up, your activity, what you got going on, what's happening next. That's sales and marketing, right?
Think about this too. If you are starting a business, you have to have a what? Exactly,
Bingo.
A business plan. If you are wanting to get a loan from a bank to start your business, what do you have to have? A business plan. You have to have a plan. So you are running a business right now if you're searching. You have to have a plan.
Bingo, 100%. All right, Mark's Job Seeker Tip of the Week. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We got to go to a real quick break, but when we come back, I promise you some more mic drop moments. We'll be right back.
Out there and you're a realtor or you are looking to get your real estate license, it's a very low cost entry, $300 to take your real estate course online. Inexpensive compared to like a college. EXP is $150 to join and it's like $84 a month. So relatively speaking, these are very inexpensive costs. If you are interested in that and you want to work with me as a realtor, I'd love to have you join my team, and you want to hear about the model, then go to join10xempire.com, and I do this opportunity call every Tuesday. Would love to answer your questions and tell you more about what I'm doing. If anyone out there is interested in working with me.
Hi everyone, this is my first LinkedIn video. My name is Paul Parkinson and I help companies create a competitive advantage by developing innovative computers based on Intel's NUCs. I'll be sharing some videos about innovative ways to expand Intel's NUCs into some more markets. There'll also be some videos showing a new workflow using 3D printing that slashes the cost of doing proof of concept units to help close opportunities before the competition can react. I'm looking to grow my network and share my experiences, so please tag below any professionals on LinkedIn that you think I should connect with. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important, but
Who you know?
Hey,
Who y'all
it's all
know?
about who you know, and I'm super excited because let me tell you who I know. We got Ashlee Fay, Marcus Black, Tamra, Andress in the house. Round of
Big
applause.
round of applause.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Today's show is going to be all about the embrace your what?
Ambition.
That's what I'm talking about. So first I got to ask, what is this? What are y'all wearing? What do y'all got?
The Lord is my shepherd jackets. Look at that.
The Lord is my shepherd. Love that. Round of applause. I like that jacket. Where do I get one of those?
316?
Yeah,
what is it?
316.
Oh, okay. No, where do I get one of the jackets?
Yeah, 316.
316.com. Like Dark 316.
Yeah, I know.
I thought you were talking scripture. I was like, oh, okay. I can open the book, I guess.
That too. It just comes.
It's a website.
Yeah. They have them in all
316
colors.
apparel.
Got 316.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Love that. All right, so I want to know, let's start with Ashlee. Why did you start this movement, and why did you start this conference, and what does it mean to you? Why did you do this?
So, you guys, about 3.5 years ago, I sat at my kitchen table with negative $54. Today I own a company that is 7 figures with 35 boutiques under me, and I promised that I would help as many women as I possibly could. About this time last year, I got this calling, and I felt like I was supposed to do a conference that combined business, mindset, and faith, all of it, because God got me here, right? And so I want to help people put God into their businesses. And I was like, you sure it's me? Like, I'm not a speaker. I don't know. But at that point, I was just obedient because I had seen what it had done in my business, just being obedient to the call. And so I said yes. didn't have a darn clue what I was doing. But I just wanted to bring hope to people and share my story. And then I met this man, and it was just like such divine intervention. We just connected, and we just knew that this is what we were supposed to do all along. This is what we had been preparing for our entire lives, and we didn't know it. And so we just kind of went all in, and I mean, it's so fun. Like, we get to worship on Sundays, but God's in every part of the conference, and I just think it's important to combine all three. I think that's where people are missing out. Whenever I let kind of God take control of the business, that's when I skyrocketed. You know, and before that, I guess I didn't realize he needed to be in it, you know? And so, yeah, it's just on my heart to help as many people as we can, to travel, to share our stories. I want to give back. I want to do mission trips. We have this huge vision, but it just means a lot to me that I guess I was chosen and called. And so I just want to live in my purpose and be the woman he made me to be. So.
Well, that gets a mic
Amen.
drop.
Yeah.
That gets a mic drop. Woo! They're throwing mics off stage. I love that. All right, so what we like to do, hold on, I got to pause it, and then I got some follow-up questions for you there. What we like to do is, let's see. Actually, you know what? Let's go to the audience with a question. How about we go to the audience with a question, Mark? What do you got?
All right. Let's see here. She just said it. What was her balance that she was at her lowest point there?
That's cool. Give it to Mike. He's the,
all right.
Hey, give it to Mike.
He turned
Mike,
it. Yep. He turned and said it first.
He's
So
quick.
here, we'll give you a. Do you have one of these already? These glass boards? All right.
Thank you, Mark.
All right.
Woo! Yes.
Congrats, Mike.
Great job. Great job. All right. So that's what I was gonna to really touch on was you went from minus 50. All right, you took one of these. It was like you didn't have anything right to work with, but you did. Mm-hmm. You used your faith to put it together. So now 7 figures. Mm-hmm. How did y'all two meet?
Clubhouse.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
All right, so I have a question for the audience.
You met online?
How many of you in the audience are on Clubhouse? I got a few hands. All right. How many of you have no idea what Clubhouse is? Some other hands. Okay. I want you to just download the app, Clubhouse, okay? Come hang out with us in Breakfast with Champions, the Millionaire Breakfast Club. I've got Tuesdays from 7 to 8 a.m. And Tamra, when's your
Thursday at 8:30 and Wednesday at 3:30.
Beautiful. So you can come
Do you
hang
need
out
an
with us.
invite still?
No.
It's wide open.
Wide open.
No invitation required. So just download it, come hang out with us in Clubhouse. So that's how you met, was Clubhouse. Tamra, what about you? Same thing?
Yeah.
Clubhouse, yeah.
Same
And then
thing.
I flew across country and had never met them in person, and since then it's just family.
Well, okay, so let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
So you've never met these people,
Yeah.
but you get to hear them in Clubhouse. What about that drew you together? What was it that drew you together to be this powerful team?
Well, you're going to get to hear Marcus share in just a minute, but there's like a voice component of people that Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, they cannot possibly connect you in the same way because it's an energy and it's an inflection that you just, every other social media, it's scripted, it's planned. I know where I was, when I wrote it, how I wrote it, and when someone just says, how do you feel? What's going on in your life?
Scripted.
Or why, right? It's unscripted, on the spot.
Raw.
And it's done sometimes in my robe, sometimes at the beach, sometimes in the bathroom. Who knows, right? Who you know? And so it's the knowing that it's so intimate. And I just love voice and connectivity. And there was something specifically around the fact that these are purpose-driven, mission-driven leaders in the marketplace, and that's my passion. And so I was willing to take a risk and go and meet a bunch of strangers. My husband to this day is like, I don't get it. I don't understand. You didn't know each other. You guys just pounced on one another. I'm like, yeah, it's just a heart connection.
Well, you bring up a great point. Okay, so how many of you have built relationships over the last year and a half since COVID? You've built relationships online without ever have met the person before. How many in the audience has built a relationship? Some of you, this is the first time meeting us, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Well, we feel like, we know each other, right? We got a relationship going, right? Mm-hmm. So it's the same thing. So but you felt the energy.
Yeah, the energy is the power. ultimately. Because I think there are people that get on and can speak, but it's like this apathetic component, right? And you're like, it's painful. It's actually painful because my kids are in the background, my husband, there's a lot of things that are going on, and we've actually prioritized this as something really important in our life, which sounds really bizarre.
It does.
But when you get connected and you're in the same space with people, you realize the value of humanity, the value of energy, and it's what God wanted us to do. He's a relational God, and He created us to be relational with one another.
Amen.
Amen to that. Yeah, this is just a vessel. It's temporary, but there is that energy that's within, and the voice.
Yep.
Right, and before the written word, there was the spoken word. God said, "Let be light." Let there be light. Right, and I'm going to tell you, I've told you this before, but the first time I heard your voice, and like you just did the prayer, and I had my eyes closed, I could just hear it. That's it. I can just hear this guy, and it's like, oh my gosh, the energy that he creates is just amazing. So, and all of you. So, Clubhouse is really cool because you get to experience that part of it. It's very raw, and you just get that pure energy that's within all of us.
It eliminates the distractions in some ways. Like there's distractions, like actual distractions, like kids and like noise around you. Like one day they were replacing the roof on my house, so that was happening on Clubhouse. But you eliminate the visual distraction.
Yeah.
So like with the other, as you're watching videos, you're looking at different things, you can't really hear the heart, and there's a disconnect. But with Clubhouse, it's nothing but a little avatar, and it's a voice, so you can hear people's heart, and so that's what makes it unique.
Yeah, it is unique. It's a unique platform. All right, so that's how you guys got connected. So that's cool. Talk to us about the conference. Like, what is someone? Because we've got some people in the audience who've won some tickets from our last episode. Yeah. So who won tickets from the last? All right, that's what I'm talking about. So y'all gonna get some VIP tickets. You're gonna go to this conference, and you're gonna get to meet some amazing people. Who's gonna be there? And then tell us, like, what are you all speaking on? What are you gonna be doing at the conference?
You go first.
Me go first? Okay. You want me to tell them who's going to be there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So obviously us three, Trent Shelton, Devin Still, and Amberly Lago is going to be there. They're all amazing. I mean, they're just fire. Like I'm nervous to speak with these amazing Titans, but here we are.
Trent Shelton. Another one that is, got to have him on the show. Make it happen. Make it happen. I gotta have him on the show.
On camera now because he said it just a couple times before.
No. I'm serious. So you got to hook that up because he's another one that, guys, what I want to bring to this show is people that can speak life.
Yeah.
Right? We know how hard it is for job seekers. You're going through a rough time, and you need to get around people who can lift you up. Right? So anyways, great speaker.
Yeah, he's amazing. They're all amazing. I had myself in between Trent and Marcus at one point, and I was like, why did I do that? Why would I do? But then Trent had to change. We good. But I'm going to speak on I know what it feels like to be stuck and broken. I know what it feels like to be second best, to feel like you're not enough and you're not worthy, but you are. That dream in your heart, it's yours. God gave it to you. You have a purpose. And so that's what mine's about, is just finding that and like stepping into your light and saying, here I am. I might be different or crazy or whatever, but I'm me and I'm doing this. So I want to show women all over the world that you can be nervous, because I'm not going to lie, I'm nervous as all get out right now, but you can have courage and you can just be the woman that says, I'm stepping out and I'm going to show you guys that you can do this too. So I hope that I come across as someone that you see yourself in, and that's doing it. And so, my speech is really, it's called Meant for More. So,
Trevor, I've got a question for Ashlee.
Yeah.
So, Ashlee, when you got started and looking from where you've come from to now, I'm sure there were obstacles along the way, right? How did you overcome some of those obstacles?
I mean, that was tough. I honestly, whenever I had the negative 54, God told me to go all in. I was making like tumblers, kind of like what Tamra and everybody has. And I said no. I didn't want to be in production, right? And so I started bringing on women and teaching them. There were some women that didn't work. It was just there's always something. I always tell my sister, in business, you can't have 2 good days back to back. Something's like always like going on. But for me, I just try to be obedient and follow my heart. Like, in every aspect, and I just try to hear him and do what he needs me to do, because like you said earlier, like I'm a vessel and I just feel blessed to be chosen, and so whatever that means, like he's gonna guide me. But I think that anytime there's an obstacle, I do look at it this way: there's always an obstacle. This has never ever failed, and we talk about this a lot. There's always an obstacle, or something always goes wrong right before I level up, right before I hit that next level. Stuff goes crazy. I mean, it always happens. So it's almost now when like there's an obstacle.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. No, for real. Like, look, I'm about to level up.
Yeah. Us too. Come on.
I've been going through a lot of stuff. Y'all don't know. Everything online looks great. That's not always the way it is, right?
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
There's got to be, there's a level up coming. There's some stuff coming. There's stuff coming, right?
You know, I promised myself from very early on that I was going to show my audience all of it, the hard stuff, and then me getting out of that hard stuff. And so they've seen me cry. One of my most popular videos to date, I have a hole in my shirt, like by my belly button. And so I was working, you guys. But I just felt this God prompting to like get on and tell him, like, you're not broken, you're just stuck, and you can get unstuck, and you're leveling up, and all those hard things, it just means you're so close. And so I did, and it gets shared all the time. And I'm like, of all the videos, y'all had to like pick the hole in the shirt, wet hair, no makeup. Like that is what I'm known for. But yeah, I just try to share all of it because I want people to see the struggle. Like, what is the sweat thing that we always talk about?
Say never let them see you
Never
sweat.
let them. They definitely see me sweat and cry and praise and pray and all of the things, because I want to show them like business is hard, but it is worth it. Yeah. If you're living your purpose, it is worth it.
Amen to that.
Nobody wants fake. Nobody wants fake. They want the real thing.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, that's so true. So, okay, so I love this when you talk about leveling up. How many in the audience have ever played, I know this is a funny question, but how many have ever played Zelda? Or you know what Zelda is? Okay, so nobody in the audience played Zelda. I played a lot of Zelda when I was a kid. All right, I'm a nerd, I guess. But the whole premise of the game is like when you start out, you don't have a sword, you have no shield, you got nothing, and there's monsters trying to kill you. That's life.
Yeah, that's good.
Right?
Yeah.
And when you're a job seeker, it's the same thing. When you first start out, you ain't got your resume done, your LinkedIn looks like crap, you got nothing put together.
Yeah.
Right? A month later, your resume's done. You got a sword, right? But the monster's still trying to kill you, right? By the end of the game, you've leveled up multiple levels, and you are like a pro, and you're a boss killer. You're killing bosses, right? By the end of this game.
Yeah.
Right? And it's the same thing in your job search. And each one of you are going through a journey right now. And so you are leveling up. You're getting a sword and a shield, and your LinkedIn's getting done, and you're getting all these things as you go along. So hopefully we can help you level up quicker. That's what this is all about.
Well, and speaking to in context, we already have a sword and a shield, right?
Ooh.
Yeah.
We already got a sword and a shield.
Yeah. I was going to say, parallel to that is that God doesn't call the equipped, he equips the called. And so it's the knowing that you are already capable. Another one. Is that 2 giveaways?
And another one.
Oh, we got some mic drop moments. Yeah, we got some mic drop moments.
It fired me up. Now, I've got a question for you guys, because this happened to me. And that guy right over there, Morris Hood, can tell you all the way back to 1985. Was there a little voice in you guys' head that said there was something for you moving forward for a long time? And then when you got there, you're like, hey, maybe this is it? Because that's how I started the Career Search Network. I knew when I was living with that guy over there, I knew something was up. But that's the way the spirit is one. When you meet someone and they got the same spirit, hey.
That's a great point. My journey was very similar to that. I felt called, like you said, you felt called. Let me ask you a question. I'm going to kind of go around the room with this. So first, we'll start with Tamra. When did you know the calling? When did you feel it and recognize it and know, okay, this is what I have to do?
Yeah, it's probably an oxymoron to what you would expect, but when I was fetal position in a place of depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation, because of choices that I had chosen and choices that were brought to my life, right, on behalf of others. I had a moment, an encounter. It was the one encounter that I can fully see when I closed my eyes, that I embraced my surrender. And it was that moment of release of control. And God literally spoke to me, I see you, I know you, and I still, that word still gets me every time, still love you. And so from that moment forward, I released what I thought was success. I released the American dream that I was chasing after nonstop. And I went into stepping into purpose freely and doing it without my own ideation of what that could become, and allowing Him to mold and be the potter that He is, right? The creator that He is. So saying yes.
Love that. That gets a mic drop.
And we all have a gift, and a lot of us in this room will get to that point where we know that we're where God wants us to be. That's what we were made for. Okay, I'll shut up.
All right, Ashlee, what about you? When did you feel that? I mean, was it when you were negative 54?
No. People probably think that's when it was, but so my whole life my mom used to say, you were meant for more. That's why my speech is called that. And she passed away. She told me to have faith because one day I'd be meant for more. She just knew it. So the negative 54 didn't get me because I didn't really want to be in production of tumblers. I just kind of felt God telling me to do that, right? But what my light bulb moment was when someone asked me how I got started in making the tumblers. And instead of telling them how I'd been doing it for like 10 years, I shared with them the negative $54 story. And I kind of thought I ruined the business because they were going to see me as unprofessional and not a businesswoman. But I woke up to so many messages from women saying, I'm in that position. Like, you're such an inspiration for sharing that. And I was just like, I'm going to teach them how I did it. I'm going to take them on and I'm going to show them exactly what I did and help them get there too. And then another one for me for speaking though was in Denver.
Yeah.
On Sunday, I cried so hard because it was just like this feeling of just knowing like, this is going to be something huge and this is what I'm meant to do and this is exactly why God put me on this. And I feel like it's like a dream and I'm just grateful. I literally cried all day Sunday in Denver. I'll probably do it again because you don't want it to be over, but it was just that moment of just like, this is it. Like, this is what I want to do forever.
Love that. Marcus, what about you?
Oh, man. When did I know I was called? Ran from it a lot. I didn't want it. I didn't want the responsibility. I was a gross underachiever for most of my life. And I did just enough to get by on talent. And I got hired at a church because I love people a lot, really hard, really big. And when they put me in that position, they put me over this like class. I was teaching. I had to get on the stage, which I did not want. I don't want to talk in front of people. I don't want to be in front of people. Please, can I do anything but this? They're like, no, you're going to do this. So I remember I went through the motions for a couple of years. And I remember the moment, it was a moment. And I was teaching and I was going through and I was trying to hurry up. Ooh, let's get through. Look at that, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. All right, we're almost there. Let's get through it. And this lady said, I have to stop you. And in my head, I said, you don't. And she said, but I let her. And she said, my family doesn't know. I'm struggling. I'm dying. She said, I was sleeping outside last night, snorting cocaine lines. My own family's in the next room. They don't know it. And I don't want to be here anymore. And in that moment, for the first time ever, when talking in front of people, I put my things aside. I pushed the stuff off the table, and I just started talking to her from my heart. And I started telling her that she wasn't defined by anything that she did prior to this moment. It doesn't matter what you did before you walked in this building. I started telling her she was still worth it and that God still loved her. And just like something, what you're used to hearing me for now had never happened until that moment. That was the first time it ever happened. And I didn't recognize myself. It was kind of scary and I had to let go. When I let go, the Spirit of God took over and spoke life to her. And that's when I connected the dots that this ain't about me. Every time I open my mouth in front of an audience, whether it be live, in person, video, virtual, somebody's life is on the line. Somebody's thinking about giving up. Somebody's at the end of their rope, ready to throw in the towel. And that's when I realized, okay, it's up to me to be the light, to show the things that I've overcome, to speak life to them so that you know that you can hold on. It's nothing special about me other than a choice I made to keep going.
Marcus, you kind of look like a Jonah. You kind of look like a
My
Jonah.
wife has been calling me that since we were like young. Like we were young and she would call me that. I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
So I relate to your story a lot because I remember the first time I walked into Frisco Connect, and as I started serving there at that church, Stonebriar Community Church, and I knew that I was watching the people, and I was watching the job seekers and what they were going through, and I could relate, and I knew I could help them, and I knew there were problems I could solve for them, but it was going to take me having to speak on stage and speak, and I was terrified.
Yes.
I remember going at Frisco Connect. Well, actually, I remember hiding.
Yes.
I hid. I hid in the bathroom, literally. I'm not kidding. Like, I would tell Mark, I would say, hey, Mark, I'm going to go to the restroom.
I'd always pick on him.
And I would hide. And then I would leave, and I would be ashamed. Because I knew I could help people, but I let my fear and I let the enemy get in the way. Mm-hmm. Right? So I remember just kept talking to myself, and I was like, okay, I have to put myself in these uncomfortable positions. So then I would go with something like this with notes on it and structure, and I remember I would go in there, I'd be like, but then you do it repetitively and you get more comfortable, and so. But I remember running from it.
Yes.
So I can relate to your story.
Well, I think what's interesting about everybody's story is a lot of times you think purpose is discovered like on the mountaintop. You like get there and you're like, yes, like I've made it. But the process of life, like the process of being, is it's a place. It's not a place that you're going to get. It's a process to the place, right? And place is ultimately in heaven. And so we just get to become. We just get to step into the next moment and recognize that a lot of the lowest places are the places that God's going to redeem in your greatness. But you have to release those moments in the recognition of. So it's the knowing that the place where you might be right now, which might be alone, isolated, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, nobody sees me. Well, what happens if you take yourself as the opportunity rather than looking exteriorly for the opportunity, and you become the opportunity simply by stepping into the light?
That's good. So we've had a bunch of these. So now what I want to do is give away some stuff, because that's what we do around here. We like to have fun and give stuff away.
We got stuff.
Yeah, we got stuff. So what do we got, Mark? What do we got?
All right, we got one of these cups. We got one of these tumblers, right? We got one of these tumblers. It says "Fit in Faith."
Fit in Faith. Okay,
Fit in
so
Faith
while we're giving that away, Tamra, you want to tell us what Fit in Faith is?
Absolutely. So FIT stands for Founders, Innovators, and Trailblazers. And Fit in Faith has been a podcast for the last 3 years. It's a live show similar to this. And so it's all about really becoming. It's about stepping in as an entrepreneur, as a creator, as a visionary, and understanding that none of it happens without your faith, because God's in control.
And I was on it.
Yeah, you were. That was such a good show.
It's not just a podcast.
It's not.
It is up there. It's
amazing.
like
It's top 2.5%.
Top 2.5%.
Hold up. That's pretty good. All right, let's give this stuff away. So let's do a question. What's the question?
All right,
Mark, there's
Foster,
questions
you got a
on
question?
the back sheet.
Oh, we got some questions right here. Yeah, we got some questions right here.
Yeah.
All right, so what is the name of Marcus's book? Oh, we already did that one. We already did that. What is the name of Tamra's book?
No, we haven't talked about that yet. So
I'm just going in order.
You got to be paying attention.
I'm just going in order.
All right, we're going to talk about which one of our guests owns a shopping network? Which one? Who? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Right back here.
Think of her name.
Ashley! All right. I don't know if we should have gave her that. That one. Her.
She said.
So she won't forget it now.
Yeah, don't remember the name Ashlee Fay after this weekend, okay?
Listen, I'm the same way when it comes to names.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it's written down. No, I will do that too. I'll be like, ask Mike Mediterranean. He's over here laughing.
Oh, he means it.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, guys, we got to go to a real quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere, because I promise we got more mic drops when we return. We'll be right back.
you have something unique to offer your next employer. Whether it's your experience or your work ethic or your passion or your personality. But how do you stand out from the crowd when you're stuck sending plain text emails that lack personality, lack humanity, and worst of all, look like every other email in the inbox? Job seekers just like you are discovering how easy it is to put their humanity back into their communication and back into their job search with BombBomb Video. Visit bombbomb.com to start a free trial today and rehumanize your job search.
So I joined the Who You Know Network a few months ago during my job search, just trying to find other avenues that could help me land a position, and I finally have done that. And I thank the Who You Know Network for that. It's a great group of people who are really willing to do whatever it takes to help you find a job.
Hello, Who You Know crew. Thank you so much. Just a quick shout out of gratitude to all of you for your help and support during the summit process and beyond. Feeling very accomplished based on the tools that you provided, the support.
I can't say enough about the Who You Know Network. Trevor and the guys were very instrumental in making sure that I got increased activity in my job search. Taught me a lot of tools and tricks, a bunch of other stuff that you'd think a guy like me who'd been in the recruiting business for a while would already know, but they've been very helpful and I would highly recommend them.
Welcome back to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important, but
who you know.
Who you know can make all the difference in your job search. Guys, this has been an amazing episode, and we're talking about the Embrace Your Ambition conference coming up. And Marcus, I want to know from you, why did you say yes? Why did you commit to this? Because I'm sure this is a lot of work. It's probably not easy putting all this stuff together, right?
That's an understatement.
Oh, okay.
Drastic understatement, but, you know, there are, like Ashlee said earlier, there are a lot of things that were happening. Both of us, you guys have heard some of her story and the things that she was going through, struggles and adversities she faced. You got to hear some bit of mine last week. So there's struggles and adversities. But the crazy thing is, all of us, you've just heard Tamra share her struggles and adversities. You guys all have your own struggles and adversity. That's a part of the journey. And so you're being prepared for something that you don't even know you're being prepared for yet.
Yeah.
And that's the realization we had. So God laid the vision in her heart and the dream. And so she was just going. Before we even knew each other, she was just doing her thing. And I kind of developed a little bit of rapport, a little bit of a name in the personal development industry. And as that happened, you know, I had a lot of people coming at me. A lot of big name people were like, come, let's do this. Let's go do this thing. Let's partner with this thing. I had people calling from Hollywood. We're going to make you famous. We're going to make you rich. We're going to make you famous. And all of that stuff is cool, but I feel like that's a byproduct of purpose. Because for me, I had to dance with death, and that most important thing for me is fulfilling the mission that I have on the planet to serve and uplift. So when I met this one, Ashlee Fay, she presented herself different. She's like, I can't offer you riches. I can't offer you fame. I don't have any of that. But she has such a huge heart to make a difference. She said, I want to go and change the world. Everybody's saying you can't. And she's representing for all the dreamers in the world who got a seed in their heart and in the pit of their core who want something more in life. Who've been told that maybe you can't, who've been told that you aren't enough, who've been told that you aren't good enough, who've been told that your ambition is wrong, you shouldn't want for more, although it depends on where your ambition is coming from, because if God gave it to you and he gave you the dream, then you're gonna take that, multiply it, he's gonna multiply, you're gonna reach more people. Yeah. So it was the way that she presented herself, and it was her heart, and that was where I was like, I already said yes before. I never met her. We talked on Clubhouse, online. I said yes before we ever met.
Yep.
But being in Denver at the first one,
yeah,
and what God was able to do, I didn't know what to expect. But there were some things, and this is what my speech centers around, that was happening just in my own heart, some things that I was working through in my own struggles and adversity that broke through. The veil tore, and there was a connection inside of me, and something that I didn't know would ever heal happened. And that's when I knew this is it. This is it. And so for the people in the room, who are dreamers, for the people in the room who got something you want to accomplish. You know you got to give. You're searching for something right now. You're seeking a job, and it's like, man, but there's so many things around you. Culture is happening around you. COVID is happening around you. There's competition happening around you. There's a lot of seeds that wasn't planted, but it's happening. Dr. Seuss would be proud. But I want you to know, when you have those things in your heart and your soul, sometimes you just need to be in the room where it happens. You need to be like you are right now, surrounded by other people, because it's about who you know, who are willing to pour into you, who are willing to give you steps, who are willing to equip you and show you the way so that you can hold on until you get where you're trying to go. And so it was one of the easiest yeses that I ever had to say because of the purpose in the heart.
Woo! Let's go.
Mic drop.
How many of you in the audience, you got a dream? There's a seed been planted in. You got a few dreamers out there? You dreamers? Okay. All right. What do they need to do? What's that first step? You got vision, dream, something's been downloaded into you?
Yeah.
What's that first step?
I would say put it on paper. So practically, because as long as it lives in your brain, it's a pipe dream. It'll never happen. It becomes real the moment you make it real by writing it down. But once you write it down, obviously this is faith-based, so we give it to God. Like, this is what I want. You say it's what I want. And so many times you've been conditioned to not really say what you want. You say like a lesser version of what you want because you don't want to sound bad.
Yep.
You don't want to sound greedy. You don't want to sound, it's like, God already knows what you want. Where do you think it came from? So if you say what you want boldly and you speak it, then you start to believe it because you planted seeds into your subconscious. Once you start to believe, belief comes your foundation. When you start believing things are possible, crazy things start happening. When she started believing she was going to host one of the biggest conferences in the world, she started meeting people and assembling a crew of people. And next thing you know, it's like, whoa, this thing blew up a lot faster. I got some of the top speakers in the world on my second conference. How did this happen? It's because that belief came. But belief wasn't enough. I told y'all last week that action is the activator. So the dream that you have is motion activated. So as much as you want a job, that's cool. But if you really want to get in a place where you can provide for your family and have a legacy, you got to start doing some things like making your video, your commercial he talked to y'all about, and all the other things that people are giving you. You got to start doing the things, because if you do the things, then the dream becomes a reality.
Come on now.
Come on now.
All right, grab one out of there. Get you one.
Faith without works is dead.
That's it. What do we got?
5, 5, 7, 3, 1, 3.
Who's got that tick?
3, 1, 3. 5, 5, 7, 3, 1, 3. Is that you? That's you.
All right. Here, we got an ice shaker for you.
Yeah.
We got a winner right here.
Up. Yeah,
Red. How do you like red?
I love it. It's my favorite.
All right.
Hey, there we go. There we go. All right, so Tamra, same question to you. Why did you say yes to the call? What was it about? I mean, I understand the energy you met on Clubhouse.
Yeah. It was actually the experience of being in the room, because I knew I was going to go and just, why not, right? I like adrenaline. I like taking risk when God's involved in the risk, safe risk. And you could see the compounding momentum of every single person in the room. It was like they came in with that seed, and by the end of the weekend, they had their whole plant they were taking home. It was already grown. It happened that fast, because that's what God does. And it was the moment that I took my knees on the stage unexpectedly and had everyone postured before the Lord, on their knees too. And people accepted the Lord at that conference. People gave their heart, their lives, their businesses, and they were forever transformed, and I was too. And so I saw the mission, and one of the things that I would say to other people who also have that dream, to follow up what you said, is create social contracts with people and say, I'm going to do this thing, follow through in action, and watch how God multiplies the dream that much bigger, because then other people partner and they say, I see what you're doing and I want to make it flourish. And so that's what we're here to do, and we'll continue to take the stage with that intent.
Partner with power.
Drop
on.
that mic.
Partner with power. Right? I love that. I love that. That's
it was
good.
amazing, and it'll be amazing again when 2 or more are gathered.
So I, a similar story, Glenn Lundy called me, right, to do Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Guys, I want you to understand, I get a call like 9 o'clock at night. Glenn Lundy, he's been on this show. He's amazing. If you don't know who he is, then you need to go follow this guy. This guy's a world changer, okay? So he gives me a call, and he's like, Trevor, I need you to do this Clubhouse thing, and I need you for like every day, every weekday, for like from 5 a.m. to like 10 a.m. Like 5 hours every morning for like ever. I need you. Okay? I was like, oh my gosh. But I remember he was so excited and so passionate, and he knew something I didn't know. There was something he knew that I did not know. And I believed in him, right? And I was just like, oh my gosh, I listen, I don't even know what Clubhouse is. I don't know what this app does. I have to have an iPhone? What? I'm Android, y'all. Like, what? I have to have an iPhone?
We'll pray for you.
But I said yes. And that next day, I was on it the next day. That's when he started the room. That was the very first time I was from the opener. And it was like, oh my gosh. When we ended that room, it was like, okay, I get it. I know what's going on now. So I said yes, and things have really progressed since then. So I think that's important to also recognize opportunities when you see them. Not always what the opportunity is, because I had no clue what that meant.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what Clubhouse was.
Yeah.
But I knew Glenn Lundy, and I knew his heart and his spirit, and I just said yes to him. Right? So I think that's pretty important too.
I got another question for the group, for each one of you. Maybe you can each answer. So everybody talks about the challenges, and everybody talks about how COVID, right, has affected them. Let's not talk about how COVID has affected you guys. Let's talk about how COVID has changed you for the better.
I was going to say affected us, just the flip
right.
side.
Yeah. Let's talk about how it has improved what you're doing.
I mean, it really transformed everything because prior to COVID, I was doing what I'm doing. I'm an urban missionary, so I serve kids in the inner city, but I also was a content creator. I was a podcast host. I was making videos. I was recording content every day. I was doing this, but nobody was checking for it. But suddenly, people had a lot more time on their hands. So once COVID happened, that's when things started to take off. Clubhouse, which is how we all met, like popped off because people got tired of being in isolation.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, now there's a place where I can just connect with people and not feel alone anymore. And so because of all of that, we met, and all these things we're talking about are happening, are taking off, and like so many incredible things, a million of them happening in my mind. But yeah, all of that came the positive side of COVID. So like I can honestly say, like I met Les Brown, who's now a spiritual father, on Clubhouse, which neither of us would have been on if it wasn't for COVID. So there's that.
Do you think job seekers should be on Clubhouse?
Absolutely, because you talk about who you know. Like, you legit have no idea. Like, I got an email from a lady a casting director to play a preacher in a movie, something I never dreamed. But that came from Clubhouse.
That's amazing.
So I'm saying, you have no idea the connections. We wouldn't be doing this. I met her on Clubhouse. This is crazy. We sat in the room for months before we had a conversation. We were just on Clubhouse every day, so I knew her voice.
Yeah.
I knew her story-ish, but I didn't know much about her. But just hearing her heart and the consistency, like the people who are in the room, you talk about the room Trevor's talking about, Breakfast with Champions, like that's all types of bosses, CEOs, people to connect to it that can like literally, like you're one connection away.
Talk about level up.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's next level up.
I always tell people the difference, or the difference between where you are and where you want to be is a person.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Drop the mic on that. Woo!
So good.
Mark said.
So COVID really transformed my business and my perspective on the people that I was serving. Before Clubhouse, I was able to see women who were now at home, stay-at-home moms or homeschool moms or none of those things, and now they're both, right? They had their full-time careers, and we were all at home and trying to transverse what does this look like and how are we going to do it different while wanting to also serve our families really well. And so I had the opportunity of helping a lot of women start businesses for the first time. So we talked about the Great Resignation, and I honestly think it's the resignation of the American dream, and it's the cultivation of the Proverbs 31 woman. And so there are people, and men, no offense, who are saying yes for such a time as this, and the recognition that they can do something that is abnormal to what culture says that they should do. And so within a 4-month-ish time frame, I was able to see about 25 women cultivate over a $250,000. It was 333,000 in 4 months.
333.
333.
Dang.
Good. Yeah. And that's in stay-at-home businesses. So Ashlee sees it all the time as well. And I think that's what's something else I'm really connected to, because it's not just women. I get to help men all the time as well. But there's something in the heart of a woman that then gets to affect society through that empathetic lens. Fierce empathy is a phrase I just learned this week from somebody else who's a coach. And it really, that's the heart of Embrace Your Ambition.
And I'll say too that not every, I'm not going to say that every job seeker should think about this, but maybe think about it, because I saw a lot of people out there raising their hands saying they got dreams.
Yeah.
Right now is never been easier to own a business or run a business, right? And so if you've ever thought, if there's that seed to be your own boss, if someone else is not hiring you, it's time to hire yourself.
It's good.
Okay, it's time to hire yourself. So think about that. What I want to do now, I want to get some questions from the audience, right? Because we got a few more minutes in here, and we're gonna have some fun with this. So I see Mike already.
He's already getting his hand ready. Yep, I saw that.
All right.
All right, you got him.
Mike,
all right.
Thanks for being here with us.
Well, thank you.
Let me.
I'll stand up. First of all, it's been a great show for everybody here. You know, it's definitely wonderful to hear each of your stories. But I want to address this question to Marcus. That you are still, although a street pastor and doing your missionary work, with that there was a time when you were behind pulpit as well. So we've all been through our tough times, and it's because I think in many ways because God is using adversity to cleanse us of our sins and of our personalities, transform us into becoming people that we should be. So that ultimately, when things happen, when things turn around, I'm going to ask you, who does get all the glory?
Of course he does. You know that. And that's what it's about. I think sometimes when you find yourself in an impossible situation and you feel like there's no way I can get past this, that's how you know that nobody but him can get the glory, because I couldn't have done this. I couldn't have taken myself from poverty, from chaos, from pain, from the different things that I've gone through and just turned myself into this influencer who has a voice with people all over the world. I can't take credit for that. So, yes.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. Nice. Got your little who you know shaker. Anybody in the audience catch? Somebody in the back. I'm throwing this in the back. I see you. Here we go.
Like that way.
There you go. We're throwing another one out there.
I think.
All right, and if you have a question, also, just because of the camera, we're going to catch you guys on camera, so make sure, just stay seated so that because when you stand up, you went above the camera. It's all good. No worries. Oh, it's back here. Okay, we got a question back here. Awesome.
Oh. Hello. Thank you all for coming and sharing your story. But Marcus, I have a question for you. Last week you shared that there was a monster that you found at age 9 until you were 18, until the car accident. So as a family member of a very young teenage boy who is just riddled with anxiety, how can I help? What can I do? I just, my heart breaks.
Yeah.
For this young man?
That's an incredible question. I thank you for asking it. And number one, the fact that you asked the question shows that you are exactly what you need to be and you have what you need. So the first time it happened, and it's centered for me around like death and dying, and I just imagine myself being in this box, like buried alive, hyperventilating, and it was this recurring nightmare. And I asked my mom, I said, "Mom, am I gonna die?" And she was honest. She said, "Yes, you are." She said, "But not for a very long time." And honestly, there's nothing that you can say that's gonna change anything. It was more knowing that she was there, and that was enough. Just knowing that she cared, knowing that I had a safety blanket helped me. Now, as far as practical things that you can teach them, is grounding is something that happened that is incredible. Like for me, anxiety attacks used to last like 5 minutes. That's intense. Now, they come, but it's only happened twice this year, and it's less than 10 seconds. Because I know what to do. I know how to cut it off. So I go right to, okay, my 5 senses. What can I touch? What can I feel? What can I smell? I'm calling out colors because that brings me back into the present reality. If he can write down things he's grateful for, it is impossible for you to be in a depressive state when you are practicing gratitude. and then now. Because a lot of times anxiety is like a conspiracy against yourself. It's all the things we can't control. I can't control tomorrow. I can't control what's going to happen to me. I can control right now, though. So if you focus on this moment, and so you not just saying do these things, but just kind of where you can put them in and just show that you love and care, because my mom was a pillar for me being able to overcome that because she cared.
He overcame a lot already because he was adopted into our family, so he's overcome a lot already in physical challenges and mental challenges and things like that, so he had a lot of baggage. I think the enemy's trying to use it. I think he's destined for great things.
Absolutely he is. And as long as you keep saying that, it's going to happen. Because my mom said it to me on a regular, and I didn't believe it. I didn't. I thought she was lying. I tell her to this day, the crazy things started to happen. So keep saying it.
Really good.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right, raise your hand if you got a question out there. Anybody got a question? All right. Beautiful.
Hi, thank y'all for being here and sharing y'all's stories. I was just wondering, y'all keep talking about we all have this purpose. Well, what if you don't feel like you know your purpose yet and figuring out what you actually want? How did y'all each go through the process of figuring out what got you to this point and what you actually wanted to do with your lives?
You want to start with that?
Yeah, so one of my favorite ways is actually sitting with people and dissecting the question of what are you passionate about? A lot of times people ask, what do you do? And they correlate what you do is your purpose, and that's simply not true, especially with the way society kind of kits us in a process. You go to high school, you go to college, you get a job, that's your purpose. That's not the way it usually pans out. How many people know that that's not true, right? And so I sit with them, I ask them what they're passionate about. I go back to their childlike ways. What did you love to do? What did people call out in you as great? All of those happy joy points. And then we do the juxtaposing side. And I dissect in their pain, the tragedies that have now turned, not necessarily to triumph yet, but it keeps them up at night. It makes them sick to their stomach when they see it happen in society, probably no different than when Marcus goes to the streets and see these inner city kids homeless or being mistreated or abused or not being called great or worthy. And so abuse was one of those things for me, sexual abuse specifically, and also the people of not being able to step into their purpose based on entrepreneurship. And so we take those passions and we blend them together with your pain, and there's a transformation zone between the pain to the passion, the pain to the passion, and in that we dissect purpose. And so while I don't think purpose, like I said at the beginning, is a finite place or a finite understanding of this is my purpose, we have a mission, this is my mission, but my purpose is always becoming, it's always evolving. And so it takes the action, it takes the step into tomorrow to say, okay, this is what I feel, and this is how I feel. Ask better questions so you can get better answers. Pain to passion is your purpose.
I think sometimes also, just to follow up on that, like for me, I remember I was in church and I just kept thinking to myself, I was like, the job seekers need to be here. Like I remember kept thinking it. I was like the worship music and what the pastors was speaking life, and I just remember thinking, man, I wish they were here. And maybe I need to do a better job at inviting you guys to my church. So y'all are all welcome to come, Covenant Church, McKinney, come out there. But I just remember thinking like, man, I wish they were here. I wish they were here. I want to put something together. Let's make this happen. Let's do this. Like, let's put it together. And I remember the more I had that thought and vision, the more I've just acted towards getting to these things, putting stuff together to help create that environment for you guys.
We've got one more question.
Go for it.
Hi, I want to thank you for coming, Ashlee. I do remember your name. And Marcus and Tamra, I really appreciate you coming here today. The situation that I find myself into right now is just being laid off again the 7th time in the last 11 years. And I'm at the point now that I don't want to be at the level of position, executive management level. I want to step down. And I have such a passion for missions, and but I don't know where to start, what to do. And I'm, just an individual with a one income. So what would your suggestions, and this could be for any one of you, but what would be your suggestion for me to step out and I love helping people, and I just want to get back down into that level of helping people and not being up in the executive level and with the politics.
I feel like that's
You wanna go,
perfect
Ashlee?
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you stepped into with Embrace Your Ambition and building that. Like, it's the thing that you want to serve and help people. So how did you do that? How did you start?
I mean, honestly, when I had the negative 54 and I felt like I should make these tumblers, that's what God was telling me to do. I was like, no, I don't want to be in production. Like, that's just not what I want to do. But that just kind of led me into sharing my story and helping these women. I just kind of, I don't want to say fell into it, but it's like he prompted me to share my story, and that's how I started adding the women. I had no idea what I was doing when I started adding women to the shopping network, and now we have 35. So I guess my suggestion to you is just find something that you love to do and start small, and just know, like, just one person a day. You know what I mean? Like, if you can help just one person a day, you've done your job. If you can share your story and it touches someone, it inspires someone, like, just the fact that you want to step down, that's inspiring to me. And if you share that with people, you're going to bring them so much hope and all of that too. But it's tough to know, like, what is the next step? What is the next step? But remember, you're never going to see the whole staircase. Just, Lord, what's the next step? And I, like, every night I pray, here I am, Lord, use me. And even if I don't know how or what I'm going to do, I just take that step or that God prompting. I'm very big on just following those God promptings. He's going to lead you, you know, where you need to be. So just hang in there, because I promise, I started off with tumblers, and there was a point where I was making them every day, and I was like, okay, Lord, I told you this ain't what I want to do, so why am I still doing it, right? But then it just led into me telling my story, and you just don't know. Like, he has such a plan, you know, and all of this, life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you, and he's preparing you for something, 100%. So just, you know, like I said, share your story, take it one step at a time, and you'll know the next step. He'll present that to you.
I'm gonna give you a mic drop for that. And go ahead and get you one of them.
Yeah, that's a mic drop for sure.
Mic
Life
drop.
doesn't happen to you; it happens for you.
It happens for you.
All right.
100%.
557-294.
All right. Yeah.
Who's the winner?
Emily.
All right. There you go. Congratulations. Guys, this has been an amazing episode. I really appreciate you all for coming out. Ashlee, Marcus, Tamra, thank you so much. It's been awesome. You've dropped a lot of mics, and we've given a lot of stuff away. Can we give them a round of applause? Can we give them a round of applause? And we've got a few that are going to be coming to the conference. They're going to be connecting with you. Make sure they get them books.
Absolutely.
Hook them up. Connect them to Trent. Make sure you put them in front of Trent.
Yeah.
Let him do his thing
Oh,
too.
he's gonna do his thing.
All right?
Absolutely.
And then bring Trent here. All right, we good? Yeah?
We good.
We good? All right. Guys, that's the show.
It's all about
who you know. Trevor Houston here, and I want to thank you for tuning in to the Who You Know Job Networking Show. We hope you've been inspired, encouraged, educated, and entertained all at the same time. For information on our different events, workshops, partners, or partnership opportunities available, check out whoyouknow.show for more details. And be on the lookout for our new mobile app. You never know how this show could help someone you know? And if we've made an impact or put a smile on your face today, don't forget to hit that share button on your way out. Until next week, it's all about who you know. Bye.
Oh. Faith without works is dead. I don't wanna die so soon. I got moves to make instead. I ain't scared, I'm prepared. Big ideas inside my head. I'm gonna make them manifest. And I'm dressed for success. I left, right, order my steps. Network, I ain't gotta do it by myself. Who you know?